The food is not the enemy. Food is actually the fuel for the temple of your soul. And in this video, we're going to talk about how you can heal through pleasure. Welcome back to my channel. Sara here with Holistic Living, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video so you don't miss any updates, and don't forget to join the waitlist for my upcoming healthy lifestyle and recipe cookbook for mind, body, and soul, gluten-free and dairy-free. All right, I want you to know that food is absolutely the most delicious and one of the most pleasurable thing that you can get from life. And if you don't know this about myself, I was born and raised in Italy. Yes, my family's still there, and I have embodied and lived the Italian way to life. And I can tell you one thing, the main difference between Americans and Italians is that Americans are so disconnected with food. It's about efficiency. It's about get the food here fast. I don't care what food it is. Yeah, that might be organic, but I'm not attached to it, and I'm not looking at the energy. I'm not sitting down. I'm not taking the time to worship the food. And Italians, which is a very, very ancient culture, as we all know, really look at the food through the lens of, it's like the God-given gifts that is given to us, and we can find the pleasure because it's giving us the life force. And it's a culture that it's rooted in food and meal times, and that has an energetic impact to the body. And most of Americans sit here and think, why can Italian eat at 10 p.m. at night, drink wine, eat prosciutto and cheese, mozzarella, and still be thin and maintain their weight? There are different components that I'm going to share with you today, but I want you to understand one thing: the energies that you have around food and mealtime and all of that plays a vital role to your relationship with food and your body and your weight ultimately. So let's take a look at this way of finding pleasure through food and how we can heal through pleasure, and well, according to the Italian way. Okay, the first thing that I want to highlight today is that food, okay, is definitely the connection that you have with community and family, and it's a way to connect with yourself but also to others. So in Italy, we sit down at meal times because, and everybody is on board with that, because we worship the food as a ritual, the meal as a ritual. Okay, we sit down, we take time to prepare the table every day. We take an hour of lunch break, even with colleagues. Like, you sit down, you talk, you decompress from work, you eat, and you take the time to digest. Okay, those are very important when it comes to digestion. Compared to American lifestyle, I only have 30 minutes, if I have 30 minutes during my lunch break, or I may not even eat. So therefore, I'm in stress response. If I eat, I'm going to indulge and inhale food, which I'm not going to digest because I'm still in stress response. And then I go home at 5, I'm starving, I'm tired, and I'm so fucking stressed out that I drink wine, beer, whatever that is, to decompress. That is a huge difference. Now, I want to start by saying that most of the time it's not your fault, it's society. But you have the power to change this by changing a different lifestyle. Don't ever think that you're stuck at that job. Don't ever think that you're stuck with like living in that apartment with like that food. You can always change. Okay? So don't play the victim here, because you're not. And I can tell you that when I wasn't happy with my life, I let everything go, and I went on a worldwide adventure, living in a van, and it was the best time of my life, and I'm so grateful that I did that. but I wasn't attached to having a home, having a family before my kids, all of that before. But I want you to know that you can do that at any point in time. Okay, let's go back to the second thing that is going to impact and change you at a deeper level, is that food must taste delicious and also have very few and less ingredients. The reason why I'm saying that is that the food here in America tastes pretty much all the same. There is ranch dressing on everything, barbecue sauce on everything. Like, you don't even taste the salad anymore. You're like, your tongue is so used to like different flavors that are actually addicted. Like, the taste buds are addicted to sugar, because in all of these condiments, there is like sugar in everything. Even the bread, I can tell you, because I keep my diet clean, and every time I'm going to Italy, I come back, I'm like, oh my god, this bread has sugar. Like, there's sugar in everything. So I want you to know that the less ingredients you use, a recipe must not contain 10 ingredients, okay? The flavor of the food should be quite simple. Why is Italian food so famous and renowned in the whole world? Because it's simple, it's minimalist, and you taste the ravioli with maybe sage. You don't taste sage, rosemary, basil all together. You don't make a dish that has a pineapple and tomato sauce and chicken. And no, you keep it very simple. So make sure that you use less ingredients when cooking, which leads me to the next point, which is make sure that you use high quality ingredients. Why? Because when you buy like very cheap ingredients, they don't taste like anything. That is why you're probably using most sauces, because it tastes pretty much gross. Like, I've actually tasted, I was like, this tomato doesn't taste like anything. But if I choose to like spend a little bit more money, but kind of get the very nutritious and high quality ingredients, I don't need to use that much. So my body, one, is not nutrient deficient, and two, I'm able to taste, I'm able to receive that pleasure from the food, because it's so good. If you've ever tried real authentic Italian food, it's like everybody is like, oh my god, what is this? It's so good. Why? Because you taste the tomato, you taste the mozzarella. It's not an orange American cheese, right? So make sure that you do that. Try it at least for one meal to get that experience. And then the last part for you guys, especially when it comes to the Italian way, is to anchoring down that food is not an enemy here. Food is not the source of your addictions, but it is definitely pleasure. And don't ever be afraid to feel the pleasure, because what I'm seeing in my coaching experience and my, life purpose that I've been practicing for the past 5 years is that people are so afraid to let go, feel the pleasure of life, because they're in fight or flight, but they're also afraid to like connect through that part of themselves that it's like, oh my god, this tastes so good, and I'm like here present in the now. Most people are so disconnected with that they're going, living in the future, having anxiety, depression, but they're not here. And mealtime and food can bring you back to here. I'm receiving this nourishment. I am like in this ecstatic moment with food. Therefore, my body is receiving all of this energy, which is absolutely one of the most powerful healing energy you can receive. Sexual, sensual energy coming from food or whatever you want to use to that. We'll talk about sexual energy another time, but I want you to know that the food is profoundly healing when used in the right way. So don't ever be afraid to like, what I'm saying is remove the guilt and the shame from having chocolate every single day, because I have dark chocolate every single day in moderation, but it's one of the gifts of life that I'm like, that makes my day. My coffee is the one thing that I get up for, looking for my cappuccino, and then I have my sweet breakfast, and it's like the best thing to wake up and be happy. Not that's like, oh my god, I have to eat eggs and bacon, like, oh, I'm so done with this my green smoothie. Like, that's boring. Bring pleasure, bring colors into your life, and notice what happens. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment. Ciao.